Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar brought to you by DataLab Analytics, Nigeria. On today's webinar, we'll be discussing leveraging tech skills across borders. We'll be looking at how we can apply our tech skills beyond our local environment. Through this topic and through this webinar, you'll be exposed to the fact that borders are no longer a constraint to applying your tech skills and earning with it, whatever skills that could be it cybersecurity, data science and analytics, or as simple as virtual assistants. So that's why we are here today for this webinar, to show you what you can do with your tech skills beyond your present locality. Joining us today is a site reliability engineer. She's Dooshima. She's passionate about cloud infrastructure, making it smarter, more reliable, and of course, fully automated. Her focus is on building and scaling robust systems while continuously driving performance gain across using data-driven innovation. She's very much excited, I can vouch for that, to be part of this. And she's definitely going to show us how much she has used her skills beyond her present locality. So welcome, very much welcome, Dooshima. Can you tell us more? Because I know I didn't do justice to your portfolio.
Thank you, Geraldine. Thank you. I'm a site reliability engineer at Demos. Basically, ensure systems are reliable. Yeah. So for today's section, we'll be looking at how to leverage your tech skills across borders, and I'm particularly excited to be here. Just a quick one, my career in tech actually started at Demos. I remember having to join Demos as a data science intern. Yeah, so I'm particularly excited to be here. Thank you, Mr. Layemi, for having me. And thank you, Geraldine, for being my person of contact. You've been super, super helpful.
I think that was a major introduction I missed. The fact that we trained you, and your journey began from here. So please, she's an alumni, and by the end of this webinar, you would see what we do in DataLab. She's just a very good example of how far you can go when you pass through DataLab.
Yeah.
So please go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. So I'll be diving into our topic of conversation for today. Yeah, you will agree with me that we have the pre-COVID work environment and then the post-COVID work environment, right? During the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, businesses could not just shut down completely, but people were not allowed to go to physical workspaces again, and then they had to devise another means of working, which is what we now refer to as working remotely, right? And that is now the future of work. Some companies incorporate hybrid, as some days in the office and some days at home, or some companies 100% hybrid. Now, for the purpose of our conversation today, we're looking at how to leverage your tech skills across borders beyond your geographical location. Because knowing that you could work from anywhere in the world due to remote work, which is actually the future of working, how do you now leverage your skills to be able to find those jobs? Of course, we all have skills, or we intend to develop ourselves to gain those skills, but how do you leverage them to find to connect, to get those connections, right, and to earn with those skills? I'll be sharing my screen in a bit, and please let me know if you can see my screen. I intend to make today's session as interactive as possible, so jot down your questions. If you have any questions, do well to jot them down, and I'll take as much as I can at the end of this session. All right. Please confirm you can see my screen, maybe like just with a thumbs up or a reaction. and all of that. All right, thank you very much. So like we rightly said, remote is the future of working, right? How then do you leverage your skills to enjoy from this future? Imagine having to stay or work from the comfort of your home and then earn with those skills. Imagine not having to relocate to a bigger place or to move, the discomfort that comes with moving. Maybe it's not even within your country, you have to get a visa and all of that, or you have to move to another city because you got a really good paying job. But now the future of work has gone beyond that. You can work from anywhere in the world, which is actually very beautiful. That is the new future of work that we are looking at. What does this entail? It entails that opportunities are borderless. People are not just hiring from their locations again. People are they are looking beyond geographical locations, right? So that means that you as a tech talent can work from anywhere in the world with your skills. And of course, with the correct positioning, you can work from anywhere in the world and earn with those skills. It means people hire with skills, hire for skills, and they're not just hiring for your degrees, right? Now, it is not, they're not looking at necessarily that, oh, you must have up to your master's, up to your PhD, or you must have this degree. But businesses are more concerned with the skills that you have, with what you can use these skills to do, with what business problems that you can solve with these skills, right? What does that mean for you as a tech talent? What does that mean for you as a global talent? It means that you are competing on a global stage, right? If you see an opportunity to work, say in San Francisco or in US or in UK or any other part of the world, or even in a state or in another city within your same location, it means that you are not competing with only people from your location. Before now, when you see a job posting, it will require you to either have to relocate to that place or have to move to that country or be from there for you to be able to work there, right? We didn't even know that I don't think people even knew that there would be a time when people would have to work from the comfort of their home. But I think that's one of the good things that we got from the COVID-19 pandemic, right? So it means that if you are applying to these jobs, hundreds of other persons are also applying. Hundreds of other talents are also shooting their shots for these jobs, right? So that means that you are no longer competing within just people in your locality. If before now, if the job posting is, say, in Abuja or in US or in just a particular location, people have to compete for those jobs. It will just be putting people within that location. But now you are not competing people from only that location. So you have to brace up to meet up with the talents from other locations too. You get this? You have to know that you are now a global talent and you are competing at a global stage. Now that means we have less borders. You need to think borderless. Okay. The next aspect, the new feature of work presents to us also the internet as your office, and you have to make the most of it. Now, people don't have to go to a physical location or a physical building to be able to reach you. Right from the comfort of their homes, with an internet connection, a browser, and a laptop, they can reach you. Right? So how do you leverage this? How do you make the most of this? Remember that you are now competing on a global stage. You have skills, and the internet is your office. You have to make the most of this. This is a new future that work presents to us. Now, what are the advantages that we have with working remotely? Remote work offers a lot of advantages, right? Like we earlier said, you don't have to relocate to be able to fit into their schedule, right? You don't have to move from where you are to get that job, okay? Just with a good internet connection, a laptop, and you are able to work from anywhere. It saves you time on daily commutes. Imagine you have to be in the office by 8 a.m. and you know that you have to wake up pretty early, prepare, beat traffic, and be in the office. But with having to work from home, you can just wake up a few minutes, freshen up, and you're already in the office. So that saves a lot of time, reduces stress improves productivity because it has reduced the stress that you have to go through to be in the office and all of that. There's increased work-life balance. You don't have to, you can take breaks in within, you can adjust your schedule as you wish. And a lot of remote companies even have like asynchronous way of working. They don't need you to be in the office or to be reachable for the whole time of work, right? Some just need you to, so long as you're able to deliver on your tasks and join meetings when you're supposed to, you can do as you please, right? Just get the tasks done, be reachable when we need you to be reachable. And some workplaces even offer you, maybe you work 4 times a week and you take your Fridays off. So it's actually the future, right? And then it has opened up a world of new opportunities. Before now, if you were to work, that maybe like pre-COVID pandemic, if you were to work in another location, you definitely have to be there, but you don't have to be there again. And what that means is you can now apply to jobs that are outside of your location, so long as those jobs offer remote work, okay, allow you to work remotely. Beyond these advantages, we also have the disadvantages of working remotely. There's loneliness or isolation, especially maybe like you don't have people around you. You could tend to be lonely or be isolated. There are some blurred lines between personal life and work. Often, some companies still don't have like well-defined work hours. They could ping you at any time and all of that. We are going to be looking at how to navigate these disadvantages, and then it requires a strong discipline, time management, because of course there are a lot of distractions. You're working online, there are a lot of distractions here and there, so you have to be disciplined to navigate that. Then there's limited face-to-face collaboration with your colleagues. You've not seen, maybe all of you are living in different cities, you've not seen them, and you don't even know what this person looks like. For some companies that you don't have to turn on your cameras and all of that. Then there are also other issues, like particularly if you are staying in Nigeria, there are other issues like maybe having to deal with security issues. They are actually having to deal with lights, because of course you are working from home now. Your office is not going to provide lights for you. It's not going to provide internet for you. So you have to figure out all of those by yourself. Beyond these disadvantages, how do you navigate these disadvantages and make the most of the new future of work? You can have family and friends, have people around you that you reach out to, that you hang out with, right? So that you are not so lonely and isolated. And beyond work, have hobbies that you do, that you do, things that you do outside work that you enjoy and love doing. It could be hiking, it could be maybe taking walks, it could be painting and all of that. Just develop your life outside work, right? Then be disciplined. Remember, we talked about having to deal with a lot of distractions, right? Be disciplined. Eliminate all the distractions that you could have, things that could distract you. For me, part of what I personally do is I don't have any social media applications on my phone. I've never logged into any social media applications on my phone, apart from LinkedIn. Apart from LinkedIn, right? Of course, LinkedIn is a bit professional, so it's not like social media. So there's no way that I'll be at work and maybe a WhatsApp notification is popping in on my system and I'm distracted, or something from other social media platforms. Then you could also set your phone on don't disturb mode, or just silence it so that you are not distracted. You're not getting buzzing notifications from your phone. And then you could stack your phone away, maybe put it. Sometimes what I do is I just put my phone very far from me. So when I think of going there to go and pick it up, that only discourages me. Then have a contingency plan. You're working remotely. Your office is not providing your lights, it's not providing your internet, although some workplaces provide pay for workspace allowance. Like my office, they give you a monthly allowance for your workspace. So at least you are expected to use that to maybe buy your internet, get your internet connection, lights, and all of that. But some workplaces don't. So you're expected to factor that in, right? Then if you're staying in Nigeria, we have, you may not always have power supply. Okay, so you have to factor that in. You can't say that, oh, I can't join a meeting because I don't have lights. Nobody will take you seriously. So you have to have standby options. Okay, so just always have a contingency plan. Then have defined work hours. Okay, so that nobody is buzzing you outside work hours. And when it's during work, know that it's time to work. Zoom in to work, do it, get it done. And when it's outside work, you are done with work. It's just like you're not going to the office again. You're not checking your work mails. You're not checking Slack. You're not checking what is happening in the office. But you could give room for exceptions depending on your job description, right? Especially if you are working in a quite sensitive place. Maybe there could be times where they will have to reach out to you and they'll have to maybe get some things done in the office. So you could have exceptions to that. But if your job description does not allow you to have issues that will need you to jump in at work, maybe for instance, now maybe you are working as a cybersecurity person and people had a cyber incident, or you're working as a site reliability engineer and one of your servers are down, one of your servers in production are down. You cannot say it's a weekend and I'm defining work hours. You should be able to factor in some things, right? Yeah, but beyond, when it's not an emergency, once you are done with work, you are done with work, okay? Then set timelines when you are working on your tasks, okay? Set timelines, set priorities, plan your week ahead. Some people even plan up to their month ahead, but I don't do that. So what I just do, I plan my day, just a daily plan, and that helps a lot. So, and then you allocate time for each task that you are going to do. Okay, so I'm going to work on so tasks. This is the time I'm allocating for that and all of that. Okay, then be security conscious. This is particularly for those that are residents in Nigeria. Okay, be security conscious, be open and discreet. What does that mean? Let people know what you do, right? Because when you're working remotely in Nigeria, people don't see you going out to a physical workspace, but they know that this person is always you're always on your laptop, you're always doing something, and then they don't know what you do, but they see you spending money, or they see you doing a lot of things. How are you paying your house rent when you're not working? How are you doing all of those things? I know, of course, there's been an increase in cyber crimes and all of that. So it's just okay to let your neighbors know, oh, I work remotely. You don't have to tell them this is where I work, this is what I do, this is my salary, and all of that. You don't have to disclose all of those pieces of information. You can just tell them, oh, I work remotely, and that's just it. If you want to chip in the company, it's fine. But if you don't want to, it's still perfectly okay. Considering that we are looking at the new future of work, right? What skills do I need to have to excel? What skills do you need to have to excel in this new future of work? Okay, we have a lot of skills out there, and there is there's nobody that we're going to tell you that you should go and learn this, or you should do this, or you should do that. I think it all depends on you. Okay, so there are several skills out there. We have software engineering, we have data space. So software engineering, we have front end, back end, and in the data space, we have data analysis, we have data science, we have data engineering, business intelligence, business analysis, and so many of them. We have cybersecurity, we have artificial intelligence and machine learning. We have those that are in cloud space. So in cloud space, we have DevOps, we have site reliability, and we have cloud engineers. Then we have product design, product management, we have tech sales, technical writing, those that explain technical concepts to you. We have blockchain. Blockchain is an interesting area, right? Of course, that's the technology that powers your cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's the technology behind it. Then you have UI UX for those that love to design, right? You love to design. You like to put concepts together. You like to, what should an application look like? Okay, so that's it for you. Then we have extended reality. So in extended reality, we have virtual reality, we have augmented reality, For instance, maybe you went to a game hall and they put this lens on you, this virtual reality lens, and then they make you to feel like you are in that world, but you are not there, right? So it makes you to feel like you are in that world, but you're not there. So yeah, that's what we have for that falls under extended reality. So it's an area that you could develop your skills in. We have QA testing, people that are responsible to see that, oh, this feature actually meets the features that we are looking for. Okay, so when an application is built, before it's released, they check for bugs, security issues, and where is it easy for someone to breach this and all of that. So it's now left to you to see, where does your passion lie? What am I actually interested in? Am I interested in communicating insights? Am I interested in fixing problems? Am I interested in selling ideas to people? Am I interested in explaining complex technologies to people? Or am I interested in what happens at the back end when you answer a questionnaire? Where is the data sent to? How is the data kept safe and all of that? Am I interested in building technologies on cloud, right? How is it possible for you to have your social media handle on your mobile app, and then when you log into your desktop application or another device, you see everything that you left it as it was on another device, right? And all of that. So you have to align this with your passion, with what you want to do. Okay. Now, beyond the technical skills, there are also soft skills that you would need to have to excel, right? There are also technical skills. There are also soft skills that you will need to have to excel, because businesses are not just interested in technical skills that you have only. The technical skills can get you the job, but the soft skills will determine how long you can stay on the job. Okay, so let's look at some soft skills that are needed for the remote workplace. Okay, let's look at effective communication, because you are not working from a physical workspace. Okay, so they don't know where you are or what you are doing at the moment, so you have to communicate. And the aim of communication is for you to understand. Okay, it's not for the person you are communicating with to understand what you are saying. Okay, when you're communicating, you should be able to ask clarifying questions. You're able to, when things are not clear, right? Let's look at teamwork and collaboration. Definitely, you're not going to be working alone. Okay, you're not only going to be working with people, you're going to be working across teams, you're going to be working with people from your department, from other teams also. So companies are interested in how well are you able to work across teams towards achieving a shared goal. How well are you able to interact with people? How well are you able to leverage your skills and use it in solving a particular business problem? The world of tech is changing really fast, and adaptability is very important if you must survive. How do you adapt to changing technologies? Okay, you should be able to, because what you knew yesterday might not be relevant today. Frameworks, languages, and all of that, you may not be relevant today, and they may not be relevant in the next, or maybe they were relevant today, may not be relevant in the next couple of years. So you should be able to adapt to fast changing technologies and not resist them. Okay, businesses, and then sometimes when you're working on a project, you may just discover that, oh, priorities change. Okay, or they may just be like, oh no, we are not focusing on that again. You need to focus on this. So you not say that, oh, I've gone too far with this, I can't drop it and go and pick up another project to work on. Okay, so you have to be adaptable. You have to be easy for people to work with you. All right. Then emotional intelligence. Remember that you are working with people from different cultural backgrounds, and sometimes your team may even have people from different countries, from different time zones, from different cultures, with different views and opinions about life. So you have to understand your own emotions, know how to manage them, and how to communicate them properly, and also understand the other person's emotions. Okay, how well, as someone who is interested in leveraging your tech skills across borders, you have to think global. You may have people from your team that may be from different places. You have to understand that, okay, this is what is supposed to be from this culture. This is not acceptable in this culture and all of that. Okay, how well do you accept feedback? And you should look at feedback as, oh, it is not an attack on your personality. Okay, it's an opportunity for you to grow and to expand in that area that your attention is being drawn to. Okay, then problem solving skills. Problem solving skills is like a really, really good area that you have to develop. Because remember I said that beyond your technical skills, you're not the only person that has the technical skills, right? Maybe you can build really amazing dashboards that anybody sees it to be very wild at it. But what problem are you solving? What business problem are you solving? Or you can write 1,000 lines of code. Amazing, beautiful. ChatGPT can do that a lot faster, more accurately than you, right? But what business problem are you solving? For each time that you are talking about a skill or a skill that you have, you should not just look at developing the technical aspect alone. You should be looking at what business problem am I going to use these skills to solve. That is what companies are driving towards. Okay, this way you now bring in your technical solving, your technical critical thinking ability, your critical thinking abilities to say, okay, this is the problem that this company, this business is facing. What skills can I apply in solving it? And companies not exactly reward you for building amazing dashboards. They don't exactly reward you for writing 1,000 lines of code. They reward you for solving problems. Okay. Now, I have technical skills. I have soft skills. I have developed all of these areas. Where do I find remote opportunities? All right. So I have technical skills. I have this. I've developed my technical skills. I have developed my soft skills, and I'm now ready to pick up remote opportunities. Where do I find these remote opportunities from? There are several places I can find remote opportunities from. Of course, the most popular place that we know is LinkedIn. Yeah, so that's the first place that we know. Then, of course, social media handles like Twitter. I've seen people that got jobs on Twitter. Then remote job sites, then communities, networking, career pages. Okay, so how do you make the most of these places to find remote opportunities? For instance, on LinkedIn, how well do you network with people that are in that area that you are in? If, for instance, you are a data analyst, right? How well do you network with people that are data analysts on LinkedIn? How many people do you have there? Okay. You don't have to wait for opportunities to open to you. You create opportunities for yourself. Okay. For instance, if I'm a data analyst and I am interested in, say, building a career in FMCG or in health analytics or in any other area at all that you want to develop your skills in, look out to people that are in that area that you are interested in on LinkedIn. Connect with them, see what they are doing, see what problems they are solving. Okay, see what skills they have, and then start developing yourself towards that area. Okay. You can pitch yourself to decision makers. Okay, if I'm interested in a particular company, you're like, oh, I've developed myself in FMCGs and I'm interested in working in so and so company. Who are the decision makers in that company? Okay, so this is you trying to pitch yourself. They may not be exactly recruiting at the time, but you just want to put yourself there. If you have an opportunity, I'm here. Okay, you don't have to sit down and wait for when there's an opening or when they advertise an opening. And some companies, they don't even exactly advertise openings. They work best based on referrals and recommendations. So look at people that are working in those companies and send them a message. This is what I do. If there's an opening in your company, I am ready to work. Okay. Now, you don't have to go and send them a message and say, hi, hello. That's not reaching out to somebody. You know, when you reach out to and start saying, hi, hello, you not answer the person, like, who is this person? When you're reaching out to them, craft a very intentional message and send to them. This is my name. This is what I do. These are the skills I have. I have worked on so and so. I'm ready to develop myself in social areas. I see your team has done this. These are the skills I can bring on board and all of that. Make a good impression, okay? Let them know that, oh, this person is here. And then when there's an opportunity in their company, they'll quickly loop you in. And of course, some companies pay their staff for bringing in referrals, especially when the referral is really good, okay? Optimize your LinkedIn. Let people that are in that space know that this person is there. Always be in their faces. Make posts. Talk about what you are doing, right? Be out there. Market yourself. It's your skills. Market it. Remember that you are now in a global, you are now operating on a global stage. The world is now a global village. You can't expect it. The job will not come and meet you from your house. It will not come and meet you in your house. So you have to put yourself out there and market your skills. Then leverage the power of social media, okay? On Twitter or X, as it's now called. Don't be jumping on every trend. They are insulting people, you are there. They are doing this, you are there. Drive a narrative that you want people to say. Okay, this is what I want people out there to see about me. Remember that your online presence is your brand. Okay, so put the narrative that you want them to see them. Then there are also remote jobs. There are also remote job sites. For instance, we work remotely. There are several others. There's Fiverr, there's Upwork. There are so many. Then belong to communities. Very important. I got my job from a community, She Code Africa, right? Just because I was in the community, and then I was opportune to see the opening, and I put in an application and all of that. But imagine if I wasn't there. Okay, so the power of joining communities cannot be overemphasized. Join communities. You are a data scientist. There's Data Science Nigeria. There are so many data science communities that you can join. Okay. Then network. Attend tech events. Network intentionally and deliberately. When you want to attend tech events, what are those events that are related to your discipline that you can attend? Okay, someone may say that, oh, I can't attend some of these events because they are not free. They are not. They are paid. You have to pay a gate fee or register with an amount to join or to attend. Reach out to the organizers. Offer to volunteer. Everybody likes free and cheap labor, right? Offer to volunteer, free, and you have your access to the event. And then when you are going for that event, know why you are going there. I'm going there because I want to meet so and so person. Because most of these tech events, people that go there are mostly maybe like founders, CEOs, CTOs, HRs, decision makers. And then when you go to that event, know who you want to network with. Do a bit of research about them. Check them out on LinkedIn, check them out on social media, see what they do, see what they are always talking about, see what they are passionate about at the events, when they are giving their talk and all of that. Pay attention. Take down notes if you must. Take down notes if you have to. Reach out and meet them after the event. Oh, I'm so and so person. That was an amazing presentation you gave there. Talk about what they talked about. And not an opportunity to use that for you to start saying, I am looking for work. These are the skills. I'll nobody be interested in doing that or in having a conversation with you. Okay. But let them know that you've been following them. You find their work really amazing, really interesting, and all of that. Network, attend events. You'll be amazed at how many people get jobs from just attending all these networking events. Okay. Then company career pages. Some companies will not always put out the jobs out there. Check out their career pages. What openings do they have, and how do you fit in? When you check out their career pages, what skills do you have to bring on board? What problem do you have to solve for them? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's the slide I was looking for. All right. So yeah. Okay, great. Now, how do you fit yourself in to be able to cope with the new future of working? How do you put yourself out there as a tech talent? How do you make people know that you are here? You have to own up the future. You have to own the future of work, because it is no longer business as usual. Okay. The first thing you need to do is carve a niche for yourself. Don't be everywhere. Today you are a product designer. Tomorrow you are a data analyst. Next tomorrow you are a software developer. Last week you are UI UX, carve a niche for yourself. Okay, it's okay. Like, if for someone like me, I have a couple of areas in tech that beyond cloud space that I'm really passionate about. Okay, so if you're someone like that, for instance, maybe I'm passionate about data, cloud computing, and of course artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now you have to look at what is the intersection of these skills. How do you merge all of it? Go deep, go wide, but spread your branches across, but go deep. Don't be all over the places. Okay. Then personal branding. Personal branding is very, very important, because in this new way of work, what people see about you is is what makes a lasting impression about you. Okay, when you think of personal branding, it's your online presence, because people may have not met you in person, but they are seeing what you post on LinkedIn. They are seeing what you are talking about on Twitter or whichever social media platform you decide to use. Okay, so brand yourself in a way you want to be remembered, in a way you want to be known. Okay, what are those areas that interest you? All right. Leverage the power of social media. Put yourself out there. Okay, have your LinkedIn profile optimized. When people open your LinkedIn profile, what can they see? What do they know you for? Okay, put it down. Have your project on GitHub. Don't say you cannot share what you've done, because remember we talk about skills, right? Let people be able to see what you have done. Have your project out there on GitHub. Make the most of it. When people see your GitHub account, they should be able to tell this is who this person is. This is what this person is passionate about. This is what this person does. Share and document your journey. Very important. Very important. Let people know what you are doing. Don't learn in secret. Nobody is there to know what you are learning or what you are not. Learn in public. Share your journey. Write articles. Write blogs. Let people know that this is what you are working on. I'm an intern at DataLab. This is a project I did. I worked on this data. I participated in this Zindi competition. I participated in this Kaggle hackathon. I participated in this. I did this. I did that. Share it. Put it out there. So that when there's an opportunity, somebody can easily know that, okay, this person is here, right? So document your journey. Talk about it in public. Learn. Put everything out there. Then be consistent. Don't be someone that does not post after 3 weeks and then come and make a post, and then you are lost. You come again after a long time and then you come and make a post. Let's be in their faces. Let people always know that this person is there. Okay. So that when there's an opening, they don't even need to think too far, because you're always in their mind. You're always there. You're visible. You're out there. So once that opportunity comes, the first person that comes to their mind is this person that is always visible. Okay, remember that visibility is opportunity in this new world of working. Okay, then learn the use of remote tools. When you join, maybe like you leverage the power of communities. Most of these communities have remote tools that they use to communicate, like Slack and all of that. Okay, so you have to learn how to use remote tools and keep learning, because technology is fast evolving. So you have to be a lifelong learner. Remember we said earlier that things that were relevant a couple of years ago, they are now obsolete. Nobody's using them again. And what is relevant today may not be relevant tomorrow. Okay, so you have to keep learning. You have to keep showing up. You don't have to have it all figured, but just keep learning, keep showing up, and all of that. Then engage with community, network. Okay. I think I've talked a lot about networking and leveraging the power of community. All right, let's look at the next slide. Now, I have all of this. How do I now apply to remote jobs? Okay, first thing you need to do is tailor your CV. Of course, your CV is the first thing that your recruiters will see. So tailor your CV to suit the job description. Don't have a generic CV that you're applying to every job. When you see a job opening, look at it. What is the job description? What are the points that they are highlighting? What are the keywords that they are highlighting that they will need you to have? Do you have those keywords on your CV? Optimize your CV. make it look palatable. Okay, you don't have to lie, right? You don't have to lie to in a bit to optimize your CV. Okay, then talk about your brand. Remember that we talked about your branding. Let people see you out there. Let people know you for what you do. Then networking. I've talked a lot about networking intentionally. Network with the aim of this is what you want. This is why you want to network. Okay. Then be time conscious when you are applying to remote jobs, because there are some jobs that we need you to work. You have to look at time, the time zone of those jobs. For those jobs, we need you to work maybe at night in your own country. You have to look at the time. Can it fit into what you want to do? Can you fit into that? And all of that. Don't go and take a job maybe like in the US and you are in Nigeria and you are almost like how many hours difference, and during work hours you are not reachable. Okay, so you have to be time conscious. Then preparing for the interview. Say your CV has keyed the process and then you're now preparing for your interview. What do you need to do to prepare for your interview? Because remember that you are working remotely, so you have to make the most of this. This is like the point for you to sell yourself. So put your best foot forward. Ensure you have very strong internet connection. If possible, you can maybe go to a workspace, stay in a quiet room, and then talk about your skills. Sell yourself. Don't be humble at this point. Sell yourself. Do research on the company. See what skills you can bring on board. Okay, so nail your interview, put in your best, and all of that. Now, there are sometimes that somebody may see a job and you may just be like, oh, you're going to a job description, and you may not be like, oh, there are 7 skills that you need to have for you to get into this job, but you have only 4 of them. That's a good start. You don't need to have all 7 of those skills for you to be able to fit in. There's provision for you to learn on the job. Okay, if you have 7, give it your shot. Apply for it. So between the time of you applying for the job and getting called for an interview, brush up on those other 3 skills that you don't have. Okay, you don't have to wait until you have, when you have all the 7, the opportunity may not be there. Okay, you figure it out as you go. All right. Yeah. So we talked about building your brand, talk about tailoring your CV. Talk about when you're applying to remote jobs, what do you need to do, or what do you need to keep abreast with when applying to remote jobs? Talk about tailoring your CV, ensuring that those skills that are requested for, you have them. You don't need to have all of them. Remember, we said I don't need to have all of them. You can have, if you have up to 70% of those skills, you are a really, really good candidate. Now, it's your ability to sell your skills that now matters, right? I've seen people that have really amazing skills, but they fall short in selling them. They're not able to convince the recruiter that I am a good fit for this job. Remember when you're applying to remote job, remember we established earlier that you are competing at global stages. So borders have been eliminated, but qualifications, demands are a lot higher now, right? You are expected to compete at global stages. So know how to tailor your CV such that anybody that is looking at it will be like, oh wow, I want to meet this person. Make it look, don't talk about, try to present yourself as someone that is solving business problems. Don't just talk about I analyze this data. Anybody can do that. What business problem you solve when you analyze that data? What insights did you derive? How did that put it in numeric value? Quantify your skills. Okay, if maybe you are coming from a non-tech background, there's provision for transferable skills. In your previous roles, you were a team lead, you did this, you drove change, you did a lot of things. So talk about those transferable skills. And when you're talking about transferable skills, please let them be tailored to that job. Your CV should not be about your entire life history. Nobody's interested in your entire life history, but let that CV you're applying for that job, let it be tailored to that job. When you are putting in that CV, let the recruiter want to meet you. Okay, let it be that when somebody sees it, like, oh wow, I want to meet this person, I want to hear more, I want to learn more. And then when you're applying for a job, when you're assessing your application, right? When you apply for a job, assess your application, ask yourself, if I am a recruiter, will I take this person, right? And don't go soft on yourself. Go hard and ask yourself, if I was a recruiter that is going to pay so amount of money for somebody to get this job done for me, will I hire you? And when your answer cannot be an affirmative yes, you may need to go back to your drawing board and see what you need to do to improve yourself better. Then we also talked about personal branding. We said that your online presence is your brand. Said that let people know what you do, be known for something, present yourself out there, search your name on your Google search, open your browser, type your name. When you type your name, what comes up? What do people see about you? That's what people see about you. Now, when you see that, do you think that a recruiter seeing that we want to employ you, you get? And when your answer cannot be an affirmative yes, change that. Go to your social media handles, delete anything that you don't want to be associated with you, and start putting out content out there that will promote your brand. Put yourself out there. Don't sell yourself short. Then create and share valuable content, right? When you are doing this, when you are trying to sell your brand, create and share valuable content. Know your target audience. This is what I want. I'm trying to reach out to recruiters. I'm trying to reach out to decision makers in a company. I'm trying to reach out to CTOs, CEOs. Of course, maybe like I talked about pitching yourself to a recruiter or to decision makers in companies, right? When you do that, they are going to take a check on you. Don't think that when they'll just set up a meeting or something with you, they're going to run a check on you. You'll see, does this person align with our values? Remember we said in this new way of working, right? Most persons are never going to meet you in real life. What they know or what they will feel or their perception about you is what you put out there. So put what you want them to know. Control your audience, control your content, what you want them to know about you. Okay, then I also talked about being consistent. Be consistent. Don't post tomorrow and then go missing for 4 months and then come and post, and go missing for 6 months and come and post. Be always in their faces. Let them know you. Let people that are decision makers, when they go into a place and they're like, oh, we are looking for so person with that fit the description, and you're the first person you're the first person that comes to mind, all right, because you are always out there. In this new way of working, visibility equals to opportunity. Always remember that, okay? Then we also talked about networking intentionally. Networking intentionally. You met someone, go out to tech event, meet people, go to high networking events, meet people, volunteer. Okay, that's a very good way to network, to meet people, volunteer. And when you go and you meet someone at an event and all of that, you exchange contacts. Don't go and stay for 3 weeks or 1 month and then don't reach out to them. They will forget you. All right. When you meet these people, know this is why I am here. I came to this event to meet so people. I know that so person is going to be at this event. So person from this company that I've been following, that I want to work with, is going to be at this event. Pitch yourself to attend. And then when that person is giving a talk, or anybody from that company is giving a talk, listen, take down notes, okay? And reach out to the person after their presentation. Oh, that was an amazing presentation. You said this, you said it. That's not the time to start talking about, I'm looking for work. Is any opening at your job? You'll be a big turn off. Okay, make a good impression. How do you do that? Let them know you listen, you've been following their work, you're following what their company is doing and all of that. And request to connect with them. All right, they could give maybe like a contact, maybe, or a complimentary card and all of that. When you get it, don't go and sit at home for 3 weeks and don't reach out to them. Reach out when you are still fresh on their mind. Okay, remember you are doing this intentionally with an end goal in mind. You are doing this intentionally. You have this is why I am doing this. Okay, but don't let that this is why I'm doing it be the first reason or the first thing they are knowing about you when they are meeting you. Okay, so when you get back, reach out to them. Oh, that was an amazing. I'm so and so person. I met you at so event. That was an amazing presentation you had, and this and that. I've been following your company. This is what your company does. I have so and so skills. I look forward to contributing. Don't make it look like you're looking for a job. Okay, of course they already know you are looking for a job, but don't make it look like that's what you are looking for, right? So try to make them look like, oh, I am selling value to you, right? So everybody wants to feel that you want to sell them value. So tell them, know that, oh, these are the skills I have, this is what I can, this is the value I can add to your company, right? Then be conscious of time zones. Don't go and pick a job that is 7 hours different from your time zone that you cannot cope with. Okay, if that time zone is something you can cope with, fine. But if it's something you cannot cope with, please pick what is comfortable, what you are comfortable with. Okay, then also looked at interview stage. We talked about researching the company. Please don't go into an interview without knowing what the company is doing or researching the company. Do a thorough and detailed research about them. I remember when I was to join Demo, because I joined in from Shikood Africa. Remember I talked about joining from Shikood Africa through their cloud school program, and then I got into the internship and all of that. So we are supposed to work on a project, right? So I was asking myself, what can I do to stand out? So I went to research about the company. Although when I was applying, when I was applying to because it was a boot camp. So when I was applying to the boot camp, I honestly didn't know that there was a paid internship at the end of it. I really didn't pay attention to see the details of the boot camp and what it offers. I was just, I've always wanted to learn cloud computing because I know that as a data scientist, many organizations are moving to cloud. Some of them have their data stored on cloud premises. You have to maybe like AWS S3 buckets or relational databases on cloud, and you have to use cloud technologies to analyze their data and all of that. So I just wanted to learn cloud computing. I just wanted to develop myself in that area. So I just went. But when I learned of the paid internship at the end, I was like, oh, really? That's nice. So I asked myself, what can I do to stand out? Then I started checking out the company. I saw that, these are the cloud technologies that they use. So I looked for a way to incorporate that in my final project. All right. And when I was giving my presentation, when I was talking about the project that I worked during my interview, I highlighted it. See, put your strong points forward. Put your strong foot forward always at each point. Forget about the areas that you are not strong in. All right. Forget about those areas. There's nothing you can do about them, but there must always be areas that you are very strong in. I told them, I decided to use so and so cloud technology because I know that your company uses this. I did this, so that when I joined, it not be. And my recruiter, he was just smiling, right? Because I have done my homework. So research on the company. And if possible, if you know who your interviewer is going to be, research on the person also. Sometimes you can just chip in. Some job interviews may have 2 or 3 other technical people joining, and then the HR, depending on what stage of the interview you are in. Check them out. What are they passionate about? What are they talking about? How do you chip that in your interview and include it in your skills? All right. You also talked about having strong internet connection. Talked about having a quiet place, having a quiet place, a place that is the lighting is good. Don't go and stay in a dark room and be straining your interviewer to see who you are. Remember, we said that first impression is very important. They don't know you, all right? So that is probably one of the first times they're going to meet you, maybe meet you in person. Maybe they have just been seeing you online. So put your strong foot forward. Anything that's not your strong foot, don't highlight on it. There's nothing you can do about it, right? But always put your strong foot forward. Then dress properly. Please don't go to an interview looking shabby. Dress properly. Remember, first impression matters. Show up on time. Don't come to an interview maybe 10 or 15 minutes late and your recruiter is waiting there. The person will take you as a serious person. So go to your interview early and nail it, right? There's always something that happens every now and then. And everyone that is in tech class always says, from time to time they suffer it, right? Imposter syndrome, right? And sometimes you feel like, I'm not good enough for it. Or you feel like I cheated to be here, or I don't deserve to be here. We always suffer it every now and then, right? How do you cope with that? Just tell yourself that you are in a space that is challenging you to grow. When you start having those feelings, know that you are in spaces that are challenging you to grow. Sit down with those feelings, acknowledge it. It's not time for you to shy away from it. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge the fact that I am here. This space is challenging. but I am growing. Show up regardless, right? Show up regardless. You don't have to have it all figured. It's okay for you to be vulnerable on some days, all right? Then document your wins is very important. See, when you document your wins on days like that, you go back to and say that, oh, I did this, and it has a way of just lifting up your spirit. So document your wins, then shift from perfection to progress. Remember that remember, growth is a process, it's not a destination, right? Shift from perfection to progress. I didn't know this yesterday, but I know it today. You've made progress, right? So document that win. Oh, I learned this today. I built a really beautiful dashboard today. I didn't know how to filter on Power BI yesterday. I know how to do it today. Document it. If you could do that, you can do more, right? Now, let's say you've put all of this in place and voila, you have gotten your remote job. What do you need to keep abreast as a remote worker? Thriving as a remote worker is time management. Remember, we said that when you're working remotely, there are a lot of distractions, right? But you must be deliberate. Eliminate those distractions. You could take deliberate steps to not having any social media applications on your system. If that is your distraction, identify your distractions and make the most of it, right? Time management. Split your tasks into different portions. This is what I want to do. Plan your day. If you can plan your week ahead, beautiful. If you cannot plan your week ahead, plan your day. These are the tasks I'm going to do. This is what I am going to work on. And allocate tasks. Allocate time to all of those tasks, right? And do what works for you. There are some people that when they are working, they zoom in, they do all of the work they ought to do, and they finish it before anything else happens. You can also use maybe productivity tools like your Google Calendar. You block out the time that you are going to be working on a particular task and set yourself as busy so that no one sets up a meeting for you, or any meeting that is set at that time, you decline it. Okay, decline saying I'm busy or something. Okay, all right, and then get your work done. What else I want to think about there? Yeah, I think that's what I can think of now. Maybe I'll chip in a bit later when I remember that point. Then have a dedicated workspace, right? That's very important because it sets you in the mood for working. Don't today work on your bed. Tomorrow you are working on your dining table. Next tomorrow you are working from your central parlor. Another day you are working. No, have a dedicated workspace so that when you know that as I'm going here, I'm going to work. Anybody that knows that you are there for work. All right, it helps you to get in the mood for work and to eliminate distractions. Yes, it doesn't have to be a big setup like you see all these tech bros doing online. It doesn't have to be that kind of big setup. It can just be a small desk, right? A very comfortable chair and your laptop. But you know that this is my workplace. This is where I work, right? Then in your office, participate actively. Let people know that you are in a meeting. Participate in meetings. Ask questions. And participate beyond work. Try to get to know your colleagues, right? Try to have coffee breaks, side chats. How are you doing? Try to understand people and all of that, all right? Let people know that you work here. Let people know that you are in the office, all right? Then create a routine and stick to it. Now, you know that if you are working in a physical workspace, you wake up in the morning, you take your bath, and you are going to the office. But when you are working from home, you don't have any physical space to go to. All right. So just try to create a routine. Know that I wake up by so time, I freshen up, I take my breakfast. For a breakfast person, then my work resumes by say 8 o'clock or 9. 15 to 20 minutes before that time, I'm seated, I'm ready to resume. I have my day planned and all of that. Just create a routine, create something that you know that this is how you work. And there's something beautiful about creating routines is that you stick to it. Your body generally adjusts to it. And before you know, that's who you are, right? Then communicate. Communication is very, very important in a remote workspace because you are not in any physical workspace. Nobody knows what you are doing. Nobody knows how you are getting tasks done. So communicate. In fact, there's no such thing as over communication in a remote workspace. All right. Let's say some companies use Jira to track tasks. Others use other project management tools to apportion, to divide tasks and to track them, right? So when you are working on a particular task, let the team know this is what you have done. This is where you are. If you are stuck on it, let the team know this is where I'm stuck on. This is what I have done. Over communicate, loop the team in on what is happening. Okay, let the team be in the loop, be in the sync. All right. Then be physically active beyond work. Because if you're not careful as a remote worker, you discover that your life just goes around your house and you don't walk beyond, maybe you don't walk beyond 10 or 15 minutes. I don't even think you walk up to that. Maybe you just move from your bedroom to your kitchen, to your dining, to your workspace, right? So try to be physically active. Try to participate in other physical activities. Of late, I started doing a bit of stretching exercises just so that I could stay physically active. Because for most of the times when you're working remotely, if you're not careful, you're going to be sitting for almost the whole day. So, which is not good for your health. Remember, you need to be healthy to work, right? It's not good for your health. So try to exercise, try to stretch. Some people sit down for maybe like some minutes and then they stretch, come back, and all of that. Okay, then I talked about eliminating distractions. I talked a lot about that, so I'm not going to talk so much about that again. Then be culturally aware. You're working in a diverse team, working with people from different cultural backgrounds. Understand their culture, right? Be culturally aware. I remember what happened when I joined them was at first. We used to have this retrospective section where we, maybe like at the end of every month, so we talk about what went right, what went wrong, what can be done better. I remember, so we used to have like a breather section before the retrospective section starts. And that day, the product manager we're playing some games, and she asked a question that, what will you do if your pet died? And she said the dog, say like a dog, died and came back to life and then is chasing you. So we're going around the table, everybody was answering, and then when it got to my turn, the Nigerian in me answered. So I said that if my pet woke up and is chasing me, I'll send it back to where it's coming from. I mean, that was a Nigerian contest. It's really hilarious, right? But nobody laughed, and I was like, oh wow, it's not only Nigerians that are here, so I had to adjust a bit. Yeah, so be culturally aware. Don't throw jabs, don't throw jokes that are going to ridicule or make mock of the other person's culture. Adjust to people's culture. Be sensitive, right? Be adaptable. Be able to adapt to other cultures, to technologies and all of that. Then lead with cultural intelligence. You could just maybe try to understand other people's culture. Why did they do what they do? What is attainable in other people's, and what is attainable in your place and all of that. And you'll be amazed. Right? And you don't know that sometimes these very little things may just create a long-lasting impression about you to people. And then also being culturally aware is also another part of it, is knowing what works in your remote place. Okay, so assuming you worked in a particular company and then you're now coming to another company, don't think that what was obtainable in your former place of work will also be attainable here. Adjust to the culture of that workplace if you must grow in that place or on that job. Okay, some workplaces they don't tolerate any form of toxicity, right? And I think like my company is really huge on that. They don't tolerate any form of toxicity. So you can't, maybe like you are coming from a place that was very toxic and then you're now coming and then you now bring that toxicity in. Maybe sometimes you don't even know that you are bringing that culture in. Adapt to the culture of the workplace. All right. So that's also part of being culturally aware, right? And very many companies, they address people by their first names. You not see very many companies, they just go with your first name. You just see, you can be addressing your manager with his first name and all of that. But that shouldn't make you to start being disrespectful, all right? Because that's their culture in that place. Maybe they run a table level management. You can reach out to the CEO, ask him any question, talk to him. This is what you feel. This is what happened. This is how you felt it should be, and all of that. But there should be that level of respect. Maybe you're addressing your manager. Maybe your manager is Geraldine, and then you address your manager. They're saying, "You're not Geraldine. How far now? She will how far you very well." Then maintain work-life balance. Okay. When you're at work, work. When you're at home, be at home. Rest. All right. You are a human being. You need to balance. You need to rest. Develop other areas of your life. Your life is not all about work. All right. Except in cases of emergency. When there is no emergency, don't check your work mails and all of that. You're at home, rest. Then make effective use of remote tools. Your Slack, your Google Meet, and all of that. Make the most of them. Communicate, drop updates, and all of that. Then I also want to, let me just chip in a bit about being physically active. Say that you want to step away from your laptop and you are going to be away for a long time, right? Let your team know that, okay, I'm stepping away, I'm going on a lunch break. This is how long I'm going to be away for. Okay, don't say you'll be away for 2 hours and then you went off by 12 p.m. and it's 3 p.m. Nobody has seen you, nobody has known where you have gone to. Remember that you're in a workspace. Nobody can actually tell what you are doing. It's when you communicate, when you interact with your team members, that you are able to they're able to build confidence in everything that you do as a remote worker. Know that you try to build confidence, try to build trust. Let your manager be able to vouch for you. All right. Let it not be that oh, this is how this person behaves. He doesn't join meetings. He's not accountable. He's not dependable. Dependable, be accountable. Say you went out, or maybe you had to go for lunch, and then you now had a little emergency and you'll be running late. Try to reach out to your manager. It's always advised that you have your work devices, maybe your Slack or your Google account and all that also set up on your mobile in cases of emergencies like that. So you just have to reach out to your manager. Okay, this is what happened. I'll be running late. This is what happened. I'll be running late. I'll just try to maintain transparency. That's the only way you build accountability. That's the only way you be dependable. What next? We've learned all of this. Call to action. What do I do? Where do I go from here? First thing you need to do is go and rebrand yourself. Remember I talked about searching your name on Google. What do you see? What you see is what your recruiters will also see about you. And that is the first impression that they are going to have of you. If that impression is not what you want them to have, go there, delete all those things. Use the algorithm to your advantage. Start talking about things that are that you love or that you want them to be. You want to be identified with, right? So rebrand yourself. Optimize your LinkedIn. Identify one platform that you want to use. You can use different platforms, right? But it's good to identify one platform that you want to use. Rebrand, optimize your LinkedIn. Let your profile reflect your passion, your skills, where you want to be, what you are working at, and how you will fit into that particular space that you are interested in. Okay, try to make posts. Be in their faces. Visibility is opportunity. All right, try to create content and have a schedule for posting your content. You can say that I'm going to be posting content every 2 weeks, twice in a week, or thrice in a week, or Mondays and Fridays, and all of that. All right, so try to stick to that calendar that you have developed for yourself. Then create valuable content. Don't just write anything at all that is not in line with the brand you are trying to build. Remember that you're trying to build a brand now. So try to create content that is valuable, content that people can engage with. It doesn't have to be very lengthy. Sometimes people don't even get to read very lengthy content, except it's very, very catchy and interesting. So your content should be aimed at answering questions, should be aimed at solving business problems, or you want to drive conversations, right? Then network intentionally. Network intentionally. Reach out to people. Don't wait for an opportunity to drop into your laps. Create one for yourself if you have to. Reach out to decision makers in companies that you have. It doesn't have to be big tech companies. All right. Go on LinkedIn. Try to see what this company, I'm interested in working in this company and all of that. It can be a startup. Just look for a place that you really want to develop your skills, and your next job will be a lot bigger and better than that. But just have a place to start. Okay, just have a place to start. Reach out to people in that space and see what their staff do, the skills that do the people in that company. If let's say you are interested in working in telecoms, who are the data scientists? Who are the software developers? Who are the technical writers? Who are the cloud engineers? Who are the people working in that company? What skills do they have? Do a skill gap analysis. What skills do you have? What do you need to move from where you are to where you want to be? Start developing yourself, okay? Then let me just chip in a bit about branding. Your LinkedIn, you don't have picture of yourself that is there, picture from 10 years ago. They are seeing, they don't know who that person is because you've grown past that stage. Take a clean headshot, right, and update your profile. All right. Then if they start apply to jobs, you don't need to have all the skills. All right. Once you have, say, 70% of the skills, apply. You are good. In fact, 70% you are an overfit. When you are doing your data science, when you say your model is an overfit, right? Yeah, 70% is you are an extremely good fit, right? So apply, and then between the time you are applying for the job and before they get back to you, develop yourself in those areas that you don't have the skills. And when you get into the job, into the interview, chip in on those areas that you didn't include in your CV. Okay, chip in those areas that you didn't include in your CV and see how to put your best foot forward. Remember, putting your best foot forward is always a good point to start. You are competing on global stages. You are competing with people from US, competing with people from UK, from all over the world. So you can't sell yourself short. All right, then keep learning. The importance of learning cannot be overemphasized in tech, right? Because technology is fast evolving. And in fact, the level of technological evolution we have seen in the last maybe 5 to 10 years is huge, right? And then we don't know what the future will look like. So keep learning. If you don't keep learning, you may just be relevant on the job for 6 months. In the next 6 months, you may just discover that you don't have any relevant skills to apply. Look out for people that are doing well in those areas, right? And then connect to them, see what skills do they have? How do I learn these skills? There are different platforms you can start learning on. There's Coursera. You can apply for financial aid on Coursera and get the courses. Look out for platforms, read blogs, listen to podcasts. I have this site reliability engineers podcast that I listen to. I read a lot of blogs because for me, I didn't have very robust knowledge in cloud and all of that. I was working as a data analyst intern, and then I just got the job, and I had to move because the pay was the culture, everything was what I wanted in my career at the point, right? So yes, there was no way I could turn it down. So yeah. So for me to stay, I had to keep learning. I remember when we were doing our internship, I had to set my last scene on WhatsApp because I didn't want it to feel like I was ignoring people's messages. So that one day my sister reached out to me and she was like, "Are you dead or are you still alive?" So I was like, "What happened?" She said, 2 weeks ago, you have not been on WhatsApp. I said, now the thing where we see you, But so I had to keep learning. You learn, you unlearn, you relearn. So just keep learning, just keep growing, and you will be amazed. You'll be amazed at what you can achieve in 6 months of continuous learning. Keep showing up. You don't have to have it all figured, right? You don't have to have it. You don't have to know everything. There are days that you feel like, I don't think I'm the right fit for this job. I still feel so some days, right? But we still show up anyway, and then we do our best. When you feel that way, Go back to your drawing board. What did I do? What reviews, what amazing reviews did my manager give about me? You document it, and then you go back. I was like, oh, my managers, I did this, I did that, and all of that. So you document your wins. On days that you don't feel so great about yourself, you go back there, you remind yourself that this is you. Acknowledge those imposter syndrome feelings. Sit down with them. What can you do? If you didn't steal your way here, you earned it. All right, you earned it. So fight the feelings, get better, keep learning, keep showing up, keep being consistent, and then have a career map. Have a map for yourself. Tell yourself that this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do in this career that I am starting out in, or I am on, or I am starting out in. It's okay if you don't know what you want to do yet. You could just sit down, check out the test keys that we have. I've listed some on the slides, but that list is not exhaustive. All right, there are so many other text keys out there which I didn't even mention, and they are really relevant. But when you are selecting a career path, think futuristic also. How easy is it for that skill to be automated, and then tomorrow you don't have a job? Think what is going to be relevant in the long run. Okay, then draw out a map for where you want to be, what you want to do in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years. You don't have to have it all figured. It's fine if you don't know what you want to do in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years. It's perfectly okay. We'll figure it as you go, right? But don't stop learning, don't stop showing up. Keep being true to yourself. All right, keep being true to yourself, keep overcoming, keep winning, keep networking, rebrand yourself, and all of that. And the global space is yours to take. With all of this, you are the next big thing that is going to happen in the tech world. Thank you very much for listening.